which is a no-code, low-code platform on which all of our applications are built, hence the name Frame Frappe. We are saying that we are liberating the workplace since 2008 because Frappe has made a bunch of products and all of them are open source. So talking about the Frappe's ecosystem, we have more than 10,000 plus customers, 16,000 plus GitHub staff, 20,000 plus developers community, 180 plus partners who are serving across 50 countries and doing the implementation, taking care of the Frappe's quality and standards. And our annual growth has been 40% year on year. Then the application, these are the few applications that I'm presenting today because there are other in pipeline in development. ERPNext is the flagship product of Frappe. Framework, I've talked about it. Helpdesk is a ticketing and a support app. Frappe HR, at the moment, we have pulled it out from ERPNext. Otherwise, earlier, it used to be part of the ERPNext. But then Frappe HR now itself is an app. And Frappe Cloud, that's the only revenue channel for us because all the applications are open source. So there is no licensing fee, there is no user-based pricing. So the product is free. You're only paying for hosting on Frappe Cloud. That is it. In case for some reason, if you don't want to host it on Frappe Cloud, but then you have your own servers or you're hosted with other companies, you can opt for hybrid plans. For that, you can reach out to the partner manager. Then Frappe School, LMS, Wiki, Drive. Drive is like your Google Drive, Frappe CRM. So there are two CRMs in the ecosystem. One is ERPNext CRM, which is part of the standard, and it's connected with all the modules like buying, selling. But then this CRM works as a standalone CRM like your HubSpot, Salesforce, Sugar CRM, that way. Frappe Book is an offline application. For this, you will have to go on GitHub, download, and start using it. Insights is like a Microsoft BI. You connect it to a database, to run certain queries, you get a visual output of it. So that's a reporting tool. We have Frappe Builder. That's a low-code platform to build modern websites, SEO-ready websites. That's another platform for you to utilize. Game Plan. It works like Slack, Discord, or Discourse for internal communication. So you can understand that we are trying to build a suite of applications where whatever business would need, they can only come to Frappe and not go out of the ecosystem. How comprehensive is ERPNext? Let me just... Here, as you can see, these are the core modules that comes by default in the system: finance, accounting, manufacturing, sales, CRM, project management, support, procurement, stock. And you can see that just in finance and accounting, financial statement, taxation, compliances, journal entry, accounting dimensions, accounts payable and receivables, customizable general ledgers, cost center, budget, payment and bank reconciliation, asset management. So whatever features an accounting solution should provide, it comes by default in the system. I'm not going to go in detail explaining all the modules because that itself would take 7 to 8 hours if I go in detail, giving you the entire detailed demo of all the modules. ERPNext is extremely powerful because it's API first. We made a system which is extremely customizable and API first. So if you want to integrate with any third-party application that supports API connection, API integration, you can do it. It's 100% mobile friendly. At the moment, we have only mobile application for HR, but then you can use it from web browser, 100% mobile friendly. It's extremely particular in terms of roles and permission, granularity. So it gives you doc level feel, what do you say, availability or a feature wise where you give access doc level type. So that you can understand how granular it is when you can give permission. You go in the system, only an individual who's supposed to access the system accesses it. Nobody else outside it. Approval workflow. It's very easy. We have workflow builder as well. In case if you have customized or if you want to customize workflows, you can do it. Customizable reports. At the moment, the system comes with more than 200 plus reports in the system by default. But then, as I told you about Insight, you connect it to your ERPNext database and you can create as many reports you want, the way you want to, the kind of reports that will help you take business decisions. Multi-subsidiaries. So if you have a parent company and there are sub-companies you want to manage, subsidiaries you want to manage, the system lets you do it. It can handle multiple currencies and system is also multilingual. So somebody sitting in Spain, translating the system in Spanish, using it, doing the transaction, updating the system, and somebody sitting in US, updating the same system, the system would interact with each other. So system can handle multiple currencies, multi-subsidiaries, and the system is multilingual. Document management. Obviously, it comes by default with majority of the ERPs, but still it's part of the standard features that we provide. It's the most agile ERP on the planet. Why are we saying it? Because it's built on the powerful framework. I'm sorry, I'm been using this again and again, but then the framework that we have developed is extremely powerful. You can build your own, make your own custom applications. In case if you feel like the standard modules are not suiting your requirements, you can build a custom application that will suffice, targeting to a specific industry. For example, we have a customer who is based out of Italy. They are Italy's biggest tire distributor, and they wanted a custom inventory management system for their organization. So there's a partner who's building it on Frappe framework, using the core modules of it, and then customizing it on the Frappe framework as well. So it's extremely powerful and agile, ready integration. So Frappe comes with more than 130 plus integrations with banks, messaging applications like WhatsApp, Telegram. You can go on Frappe Cloud Marketplace to check out more than 155 plus applications are there, which you can integrate, start, download it with your existing system to utilize and optimize your operations. Scalable. This is how scalable. I'll give you an example of, we have a company who have more than 26,000 warehouses. We did a data architecture restructuring for them. We have Surveyfy. They reconcile more than 1.5 million invoices in a month. We have Blinkit. They generate more than 100,000 invoices in a day. So how scalable is the system? You can see that we are serving three different kind of customers, three different types of complexities are there, and then the system is highly scalable. Another example is Zerodha. Zerodha was the user of a product, and later, because the system was so good, they became the investor of our product. So when they started, it was just a firm who was offering a discounted brokering feature to Indian audience, but then they became the largest Demat account holder in India. So you can see if there's an organization where they feel that it can anytime blow up, and you see the scalability would be a problem with the existing system, you don't have to worry about that with Frappe, with ERPNext. The system is highly scalable. We'll take an example of an organization to give you a demo. So suppose a green tech solution is an organization that comes to us. They make more than around $2 million in revenue. They are consulting firms specializing in environment technologies and sustainable energy solutions. The user base is around 50 plus. They have 2 offices in the country. And what are they looking at? At the moment, they're using QuickBooks Online. They want to check out the company setup and accounting, how the selling and purchasing, buying and selling cycle takes place, and HRMS. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
yeah, perfect. So this is your default home screen. So we've kept the system very neat and clean too, because it should be easy online, because all type of people would be using it, but then it's still customizable. In case if you want to change the look and theme of it, you can go ahead and do it. You can see a couple of, you can changes the system that comes by default when you do a trial on Frappe Cloud. One of them is that the logo is changed. So I've changed it with Rudra Motors. That's a company that I was creating a demo account for. So you can change the company logo. The other thing is you can see is workspace settings. So if you don't want to see all the modules which are listed on the left hand side, you can unbox and check box this and save it. And you'll only get to see the modules that are useful to you and that you want to see. The other thing is session default. Session defaults are basically the default company. In case you have multi-company setup done in the system, and if you want only one company to be part of the default because you do more transactions of that particular company, you can set the session default. So this is the general overview of the product. Obviously, once you start using the system, the first thing you do is set up a company. How do you do it? You come to the masters, accounting masters. First is setting up a company. You add a company, whatever type of company it is, the system can handle it. So as you can see, there are a bunch of companies that are already being installed or configured in the system. The parent country of that particular company establishment is India, and there's a parent company that is India. So you can change the view of it, and here you can see the companies that are being set up. So you can identify that Puneet Demo is the parent company and Amaze Milk is the subsidiaries of it. Please avoid all the nomenclature of why this company will be listed like this. It's because I was preparing a demo for a company. That's why. Once the company is being set up, the system will generate chart of accounts. You can see it from here. So you can select the company you want to see the chart of accounts of. Mare's Mill, periodic company Puneet. And the system will give you the assessed liability, income, expenses, all the accounting heads, and the corresponding amount mentioned against it. When you expand all, you can see the heads and the amount corresponding to it. These are just arbitrary numbers, so kindly ignore the values of it. But then you can see, and in case if you want to customize it, you will go ahead and create your own chart of account depending on the area, the region you serve. For example, we have a chart of account that is used uh, as per the standard in India, but then obviously the chart of account would change in Panama, would change in Spain, would change in European countries, in US. So you need to set up your chart of account according to the region the company is operating in. Next part is obviously the fiscal year. The other things, I'm not going to go in detail explaining all the features, just trying to cover the major features that are there. Fiscal year, you can go ahead and set up the fiscal year. Like in India, we follow April to March cycle. In other Western countries, we follow January to December cycle to set up multiple fiscal years depending on the companies they are you know, suitable against. Accounting dimension, the system lets you create as many accounting dimension or cost centers that you want. You can create it as per the item, you can create as per the branches. Then in the accounting section, you can directly click on accounts payable, check the reporting of it, the rules who are allowed to see, and then accounts payable. So this the accounts payable, you can change the company from here, you can change the period. These are the due dates of net payment terms 30, 60, 90, and accounts payable report is generated. Similarly, accounts receivable, all of them are more than 120 plus days. Then comes the financial reports. Obviously, the most important thing part of it is that you get to see your financial reports, understand profit and loss statement, balance sheet. It's as simple and as easy it is. Total income generated, the year, profit, loss, expenses, everything. Similarly, balance sheet to figure out in your assets and liabilities. Since there are few transactions which are yet to be accounted for, system has created a temporary account against it. Now coming to the how do you take care of your day-to-day operations? The first thing would be taking care of your item master. So what is an item? Anything and everything that's an organization deals with. For example, if you're selling or buying something, that will be part of the item list. If you're dealing with an item that is within the organization needs to be dealt with, like iCard creation, your laptop, your set, everything would go into item creation. So we'll just take an example of any item. So this is how it will look. When you're creating item, you need to enter the name, if it's part of a group, if it's associated with a certain sort of code, default unit of measurement, if it's an item that requires maintenance. You can create a service item as well. For example, if there's a cleaning service that you provide, you enter the item accordingly in the system. You write a description about it. What is the unit of measurement? What is the conversion factor? If that's not the standard unit of measurement, you can define your own unit of measurement as well. That dashboard, then the system will let you know the activities that were done against that item. Then the connections, like 7 material requests is generated against this item, seven supply quotations. So it from one item master, you can also see the connections it's trying to build. Stock levels. If it's a physical item, it's part of your manufacturing, or it's something that gets delivered from one place to another. You can see the stock level depending according to the warehouses. So here is the inventory settings. If it's an item that's perishable, then you can enter the shelf life, warranty period, end of life of the product. This is the item that you use default for purchase, material transfer, manufacture. You can enter it here. The valuation method, first in, first out, leaf, or last in, first out, moving average. And you can also enter the valuation rate directly from it. So this is just how detailed it is to create an item master so that your operations are carried out very efficiently. Similarly, you can entering your accounting. If it's an item that is used for deferred accounting, deferred expense, deferred revenue, for which company, then your purchasing item details need to be mentioned. Then sales. If there's a commission that is being granted, if it's an item that is default for a particular customer, tax. If there's an item that has certain amount of tax associated with it. If it's an item that requires quality inspection, then you can define the quality inspection or template that you can create it and you can assign it here. And if it's part of a manufacturing, you can check both this is an item that is included in manufacturing. Once you have created the items, then you go into the buying cycle of it. So buying cycle would require creation of a supplier. This is where you will add your suppliers. You have created supplier. The supplier part of group, supplier IDs. Let's just go ahead and see what all you see when you're creating a supplier. You're entering the country details, supplier group, supplier type. It's a company, individual partnership. The currency you're billing this supplier with is in the transaction record takes place in INR, dollar. It's an internal supplier. You can check both box and you can enter more information like website, supplier address, other thing details, dashboard. So here you'll get to see few stats as well, like total unpaid invoices, total unpaid from the multiple companies as well. So if it's a supplier that does billing of an item to multiple companies, then you can see the stats there. Again, connection. You'll see everything that has their connection, that how many documents or the doc type it's connected with. The three quotations, fire supplier quotation, six purchase orders, taxation details, address and contact, accounting, and then few settings that like it can, if you checkbook this, it allows purchase invoice creation without raising a purchase order. Similarly, purchase receipt. And if it's a portal user, then you can enter the portal details here. So once this is done, the next thing would be to raise a purchase order. For example, here I've created multiple purchase order. You can see the billing part of it. So billing is completed. Here you can see the status of it. It's been approved. So this particular cycle is being completed. What about this one? It is supposed to be received. This says it's supposed to be billed. So if I take this one as example, you can see the once the purchase order is created, these are the details you're supposed to mention. That date required by, then company should be associated with. You can enter the item required by date details, the taxation, everything. And from here, you can see if you want to hold this purchase order, close this purchase order, this lets you do it. Then you can directly create a payment request from here or purchase invoice. Let's if I'm creating a purchase invoice, the system directly is creating purchase invoice from purchase order rather than going to a purchase invoice section. You can do that as well, but then system lets you create directly purchase invoice and purchase orders. Supplier invoice. You can add accounting dimensions if it's associated with a particular branch, cost center, item, projects, etc. Currency. These are the few details that you want to mention it with this purchase invoice. Payments. I'm just gonna go ahead and save it. So this is the draft phase of it. Once the draft is done, so it gives you one more chance to check if all the details are mentioned are correct or not. Otherwise, once it's created, then it becomes very difficult for you to go back, reconcile a particular invoice. Then you face issues in auditing. So make sure that when it's in the draft phase, that all the details are mentioned are correct. Yes, so now it's saying unpaid, and I can go ahead and create a payment against it. So this is just put one cycle of buying. In the selling cycle. Again, everything would take place the same way. Now we are on the customer side. So you're creating a customer. After that customer is created, then you create a sales order. This sales order is being created. Here, there are other details will be needed, like if it's a physical product, it will ask you from which warehouse the product will go to where exactly. And you can see because since you're the customer side of it, then the taxation head is also included here. This 11% GST. And again, everything is same. You can create delivery note against the sales order. You can create sales invoice from here. And you can create a quality inspection. If this is something that needs a quality inspection, you can directly create from here. And this is the summation of the sales invoice. And it's saying unpaid right now. So I can view directly in the accounting ledger this particular sales. And when you come back here, you can generate other details, the payments associated with the sales invoice. If it's a return or a credit, no needs to be generated because the item was rejected or it was not up to the quality standards. So you can directly create a credit or return note from that. Now the other part of it where most of the times people forget is that data import tool. So in some way you are already running a system in existing solution and you want to migrate that from whatever solution is to ERPNext, this is the tool you can use. So insert new records, download the template, the system will give you the default template. You enter the details, attach the file. In case if you're doing it from Google Sheet, you can assign a link and just save it. And this is how the data import will take place. Similarly, data export as well. In case if you're moving from your existing hybrid cloud or whatever solution you were posted on to Frappe Cloud, this is the same way you will move your data in case if other way of moving is not possible. So before I move to the HR part of it, does anybody has questions? Probably I was moving too fast. So if anybody wants to pause me right here and ask a question, we can do that. Nobody? Not a problem. We'll move to HR. So again, HR
Sorry to interrupt. Mr. Puneet, could we take a look at the stock module?
Okay. So again, in the stock module as well, everything will remain same. It will start with setting up your stock masters, stock setting up the warehouses, unit of measurements. Like for example, it's not in kilogram, but you deal in boxes. How many items goes in that particular box? If you deal in sheets, it's because of aluminum sheet, the dimensions of it, the weight of it. So you define it here. Then the item variant settings. If there are multiple items, they have variance to it. Then you define it here. Material requests. These are the stock transactions that take place. If it's a material request, stock entry, delivery mode, if a product is being delivered, pick list, if there's a specific pick list associated with it, delivery trip. So if you have delivery also being done through your own channel or by your own company, you can use this particular uh, feature. You define the product bundle, shipping rule. You can define the shipping rule, or if you have different set of rules. So I'm not going in detail of this particular module because again, it's extremely complex and uh, it will take a lot of time. Like all the modules, if I go in detail explaining all the features, will take at least 7 to 8 hours. So what I'll recommend is you go on Frappe Cloud, you start your own trial, 14-day free trial. After that, if you have any queries, you can reach out to your partner manager. Or if you want to continue evaluating the system, you can just migrate to a $5 or $10 a month plan and then evaluate everything. In Frappe, learning is free. So you can go on Frappe School, you can go to our YouTube channel. So you'll find a bunch of videos which are already covered for a specific module wise. Or else on Frappe School as well, you'll find module wise training videos. So you can learn from there as well, how you can configure the system. In case after that, you still want to reach out to a partner to do a full-blown implementation, you can do that. You can reach out to a partner on your own, or you can reach out to your partner manager. They'll figure out the best partner for you according to your organization, according to your business complexities, according to your budget, and according to the region you're representing. So they'll figure out who could be your best partner. Now coming to the, I hope that was it. In case anybody else has other questions. Not a problem. Moving on to the HR part of it, once the company is being set up, you can define the branches, you can define the departments. Once your company is created, the system defines a bunch of departments by default, but then you can go ahead and change it because these are set up according to the Indian department sort of list, but then you can create your own. Same goes for designation as well. Like some company says business development executive, some say sales representative. So you can change or you can create your own designation if you feel like from there. This is the master setup of HR, I think. So again, HR settings, this will be the first one we'll take care of, like employee naming series. If you want to define your own, or you want to use it for an employee name, full name, what are your standing working hours, retirement age, reminders like work anniversaries, holidays. If you want to set a reminder by time, again, same, the template, leave the approval notification template. You can define it in the system and then it will send a notification or an email according to it. So these are few defaults you set it up before doing any transactions or doing any entry in the system. Once this is done, you define your employee group, like the department type. You can define it the way your organization has been running or the way you feel like your competitor or there's a standard nomenclature that gets followed. The employee grade, like it's been divided into L1, L2, L3, or management, mid-level management or labels. The way you want to define it, like employee grade based on the salary or the salary structure. And then you enter the employees from your add employees. Once the employees added, other details are also asked, like joining date, prior experience. There are documents that gets attached here, like their PAN card, Aadhaar card, tax IDs, ITS, whatever information is needed, you can attach documents directly here and it gets attached to a particular employee. Once this is done, obviously the first step that every organization does is recruitment, staff planning. So once the staff planning is submitted by any of the manager, it goes through the requisition and then job opening is created. Once a job opening is created, this is how it will look like for which company it is. Since if it's a multi-company setup, you can choose the company for which you're hiring, which department you're hiring, what sort of employment type is. Is it a full-time job, contractual job, or a part-time job? The location for which you're hiring, you're posting it, the status is open or closed, your posting date, closed on. If you want to publish this opening on your website, route, and job application. So the system lets you do the entry directly from it so that without having to go and publish it on the website. You can mention the salary range as well, in case if you want to publish the salary range, you can mention it here. So this is how a job opening gets created. Once the job opening is created, job applicants start filing for this or start applying for this job. This is how it will get created in the system, like job applicant, who's the job applicant, their details. In case if you want to rate this particular job applicant, you can go and do it. The cover letter, you can attach the documents directly here so that anybody who's evaluating this particular candidate can go through it. What exactly is being taken care of? Interview round, period, date, status, job offer. So you can directly offer the job from here. Before that, you'll have to obviously create an appointment letter template. So this is something you'll have to think. How your appointment letter is selected. So I've just created a simple and stupid one, so please ignore that. So this is how you'll create your templates. This interview type. So interview rounds. How many rounds do you take? Which sort of interview round was it? Interview feedback. And then if interview has been taken, what is the feedback? Expected average rating, obtained average rating. Resume link, if there's an external link, or if you want to attach LinkedIn link to this particular candidate, you can go ahead and do it. So after the recruitment has taken place, okay, by the way, at every point, in each module, you'll see a bunch of reports. As I told you, that system has more than 200 plus reports. So this is one report you get to see in the recruitment section. So the company, the date, and at the moment, just showing analytics on that. Every module you get to see bunch of reports like purchase order analytics, purchase analytics, supplier wise sales analytics, supplier scorecard as well. Once you've entered a supplier, and if you want to evaluate a supplier, you can define the variables criteria on which the system will evaluate your supplier weekly basis, monthly basis, or quarterly basis. Sorry for diverging from the topic, but then this is also an important thing that you can keep in mind. Then comes your employee life cycle. Once the recruitment has taken place, employees in the organization would take care of the onboarding. So this is where you define the onboarding template. If the sales representative getting hired, then what all activity takes place? Email ID gets created, their ID card is created, published. Then you assign asset locations, like they've given a uniform, they get a laptop. So whatever activities are part of your onboarding process, you define it in the template. Then you do the onboarding from here. You do a skill mapping of that particular employee. So when that person is getting hired, so you can skill map that employee, like their communication skill is not up to the mark, not up to the mark, if their written skills are up to the mark or not. If there's a technical hiring that is being done, then you can define that level of coding. On whatever skill map you follow, you can define it and link it to an employee. Then training program. Again, once the onboarding is done, if you want that person to go through a particular training program, you can define the training program, link it to the employee. Or else, if it can happen at other time as well when you're evaluating employee during the appraisal process and you feel like for the next position you need to go through a training program, you can again create a training program, link it to that employee. Once it's been done, you can create a training event. How the training went, you can take the feedback, training result. Employees are leaving from the organization. Again, everything would remain same. Just on the other side of it, you define a template that again the activities would remain same. You're taking back the iCard, you're taking back the laptop, the asset the employee need to surrender before leaving the organization. Those sort of activities are defined. Employee separation, who is leaving, then you can define it, sales representative activities that were done. And similarly, an exit interviews conducted. and it's recorded in the organization, so that in case in future you can go, if the attrition rate is high, you can evaluate why the people are leaving from the organization, depending on the parameters you can create in the system. Are you losing your employees because the company is offering them higher pay, or they're leaving because the organization is being set up in our location where it's not accessible by all the employees. Then the journey of the employee. If a particular employee is being promoted, so you can do the employee promotion from there. Change of PTC and everything. Employee transfer. If this employee is getting transferred from one department to another, or employees is getting transferred from one country to another, that way employee transfer, and one checkbox can let you create a different employee ID as well. In case if they're getting transferred to a different country and they follow different uh, nomenclature for IDs, then the system will create the different ID according to that particular company. Then you can define grievances. Obviously, when people are working together, there'll be some of the other grievance they might face. So you can define the grievance type. One which I have created is sexual harassment, where sexual advances are made without consent. So type of grievances an employee might face in an organization, and then in case somebody wants to register a grievance, they can go ahead and create a grievance from there. Then comes your performance. Obviously, when the employee is there in the organization, you need to figure out how well the employee is performing. So the KRA is defined. Like this is I've created for a sales team. You can define it for like the managers and the directors can sit and figure out what would be their KRAs and how they want to evaluate it. This is how I've done it. Like CRM update and processes. Are they updating on time? Average engagement. If it's the average engagement of a customer is from $100 and if particular employee is able to get it to 110, so they are performing well. If the average engagement is not changed, target achievement, if there's a particular target against a particular month and they are able to achieve that or not, then lead conversion. So there are a few parameters I've defined. Then the appraisal template again. The template would like KRAs and the weightage associated with it, like lead conversion 30% weightage, target achievement 45% weightage. So you can assign it. And once the template is created, then you just have to go ahead and uh, evaluate or do the appraisal with that particular employee. You can define the goals in the beginning of the financial year, beginning of the cycle, and then on that basis, the system will calculate. So system will fetch the target associated with that particular employee. System will calculate if they are able to measure uh, parameters or not, and accordingly, the system will give you the rating. So this is how you define the goals, employee feedback, and the previous cycle takes place. Let me just feedback appraisal this one. So you can see the system is giving a final score of 1.2 out of 5. The system is giving you final score of 0.8. So here you get a fair understanding if employee is performing well or not. Again, as I told you, every module comes with report section. You can see appraisal overview. So self score, goal score, feedback score, final score. So you get some analytics to figure out if you're on the right track, not on the right track. Do you need to change your parameters, or how to make your journey of an employee well in the organization, and how you can optimize your operations as well. Shift and attendance. You define the shift time. If you follow a regular shift of 9 to 6, 10 to or 10 to 7, in India, these are general two shifts that are followed. Then you can define the shift type, general or Europe, US shift assignment to particular employee. In case somebody is requesting for shift change, they can do it from here. Shift assignment tool, like so most of the time the system will by default will assign to the standard shift that is being created in the system, but then so there's a tool that can define it. Like if you're hiring for a US, then automatically the system will change the assignment from standard to US, attendance and time sheet. So this is fairly simple attendance tool. By the way, as I told you, the system ERPNext is integration first, so you can link it to a biometric system, and the attendance will automatically get recorded. Then comes your expense claims. Obviously, you define the explains type of explains. You allow your employees to take calls, food, medical, travel. These are few which I have created. Expense claims, like somebody travel and they travel to Mumbai and amount reimbursed. So this is how an expenses claimed in the system. Employee advances. So if you're giving somebody an advance because they are going to a conference, this is how you can generate that payment entries, journal entries. Additional salaries. For example, if you're giving somebody bonus, variable pay, if you're changing somebody's enhanced salary, and there were certain areas that were remaining. So That's how you create additional salary component in the system and do it. This is for fleet management in case you have cabs that bring employees and drops employees back every day. Like if you have a warehouse, as I said, like it's linked with your stock in case you have some critical products like this uh, shifted from one location to another. And if you want to link drivers and vehicles to the system, this is where you can do it. And expense against them for fueling and for tolls and everything. So these will account for all those expenses. Then comes your leaves. Again, it's pretty simple holiday list. If you follow Indian for holidays, then you can define it in the system like Saturday, Sunday. Some organization takes like service facing, customer facing organization like list space. They have holidays only on Monday, so you will not follow the standard Indian holidays. So this is how you can change it in the system. You can define the leave types or the type of leaves you offer to your employees: leave without pay, privilege leaves, sick leaves, compensatory leaves, casual leaves, leave period. Again, generally it follows the financial year or the fiscal year the company is taking leave policies and leave block list. So this is here you can block a particular date in a calendar. For example, if annually you have an annual function on a particular date of a year and you don't want your employees to take a leave on that particular day, so you can block that particular day on the calendar. So nobody will be allowed to take leave other than your obviously medical emergencies. Yes, anybody will not be able to take leaves on that particular day. Leave allocation, leave policy assignment. Here everything is pretty simple. I'll now next go into the tool workflow builder because so this was a workflow. It's a wonderful tool. For example, in case you have customized workflows. So this one had created a couple of months back. I'll just give you a brief overview of it. So sometime it can happen that employees are there, and if they're taking a 2-day leave, they can directly apply it. Manager can approve it. But then if they're taking leaves more than 7 days, then the director needs to approve it after manager. If they are taking more leaves than that, then obviously the HR needs to get included. So you need to have a customized workflow in those cases. So here I've created that if an employee is applying for a leave, they submit it, it gets approved first by the manager. If it gets rejected, obviously it comes back to draft. It gets approved, it goes to the HR manager for approval. And if the if HR manager approves it, then the system will count that as an approval of that particular leave. So this is just a workflow build, and you can do it for any sort of workflow you want to build it. You can do it for purchasing cycle. For example, if you want to, like nobody would be allowed to raise a purchase order more than $100,000. So you can create a workflow builder. You can use it to create a workflow in the system that will not allow anybody to raise a purchase order. Similarly for the sales invoice. So this lets you have a better control over the system. Now this ends the ERPNext demo. Just sorry. So as I said, that the ERPNext is open source. So there is no licensing fee associated with it. There is no user-based pricing. This is the compute pricing when you're hosted on Frappe Cloud. This is the range that we have found out. So if it's an organization that has 100 users, so annual expense on company would be spending would be around $3,000. With Udo, this is the pricing in according to the Indian Udo pricing, but then in US it's 24.99 per user pricing, so it's way higher over there. But then we have almost similar pricing for all of our customers. We don't have any differentiation other than the hosting pricing. In some servers, it's still marginal. It's not, it's not from 24 to $10 bandwidth. So, and the another thing to notice here is that when the organization is growing exponentially, when the user base is changing from 100 to 500, the pricing has not changed 5 times. It has hardly increased by 70% because your compute has changed only that much. So you will not be spending multifold of owning an ERP. So this is the best advantage of using ERP next with Frappe Cloud. The general costs that are associated with ERPs is one is hosting part of it, Frappe Cloud. The other is one-time implementation cost, and the other is annual maintenance cost. So hosting part of it, the advantage is that along with application, you get the hosting support as well. Like both the warranty or support we provide. Since we are the OEM of it, we are the only one who can provide you ERPNext warranty. Though we are a hosting company, you are only paying us for hosting, but then since we are the OEM of ERPNext, you're paying the hosting or the application level of support. So the core product, if there's any customization that is being done, obviously we won't be able to provide you support for that, but then you get both supports. Then the one-time implementation cost. So as I said that in Frappe, learning is free. You can go on Frappe school, learn about the product, learn how to implement it. If you can do it, good enough. If not, then we'll get you connected to a registered partner. There, whatever fees is being charged by the customer is charged by the partner is obviously kept by them 100%. So there we don't have much say that you should the car partner should not charge $100 per hour, partner should not charge $200 per hour. So obviously whatever the implementation cost is, it's being kept by the partner, so we don't have much control over that. But then we have partners in the ecosystem, they charge $30 to $180 per hour, so depending on their tier, bronze, silver, gold, depending on the experience they bring in, so they'll charge accordingly. And then comes the annual maintenance charge. So since there is no licensing fee, the annual maintenance charge is zero. You're only paying for Frappe Cloud and hosting. If you want to read more about Frappe, obviously these are the few links you can explore and find out. As I said, go and explore Frappe School and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll see many videos talking about the product. There are other sort of implementation sort of videos available there as well. Ankita, I think we can begin taking questions. Does
Yeah, we
anybody
can
has?
take some questions. There are, I think, some cup questions in the chat box. I think Rahul had a question on HR. Rahul, if you can just unmute and ask the question.
I'm not able to rename job opening. So you want to change the nomenclature of job opening to something else? Rahul, can you unmute yourself and ask it? Will we take a look at the procurement distribution function? Vijesh, I hope I open stock module. So do you have any particular question regarding to it?
Hi there. I was just looking at the documentation that you sent for the stock module just now. Actually, that's one that's quite important for our company because we track the stock from procurement, so from when it's produced by the manufacturers all the way down to our distributors. And it looks like you've got quite a few key points like the batches, serial numbers,
Yes.
something that's quite interesting to us, like expiry date, but I haven't seen anything on that. But I saw that you got the first in, first out, and last in,
Moving
first out.
average, first in, first out, depending on the way you have set it up or the way the product needs to be evaluated.
Yeah, and just one thing, if like there's anything that we can't find in the documentation, are there points of information that we can go to get
Yes. So
additional?
as I said, Frappe School, discuss.frappe. So there many people who are doing implementation, they encounter some issues. So discuss.frappe is a platform where you can discuss it with other partners, other customers in the ecosystem. So somebody must have talked about that a particular topic. So you can check it over there, Frappe School, or else you can reach out to the partners, or you just reach out to me or Ankit or your partner, regional partner. They'll help you with that particular query.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Definitely, you are interested in becoming a partner. That's amazing. We'll have you connected with the Indian partner manager, so they'll reach out to you.
So
They'll
I've
explain you the
shared
process.
already the contact us form in the chat box. So you can reach out
Perfect.
to us over there and it will automatically assign to the partner manager.
That's perfect. Amazing.
Hello.
Can you have an HRM
Rahul
set up
here.
office? Yes, Rahul.
I'm not able to rename the job opening name.
So you can do it as part of a customization, like a
Yes,
script that needs to be changed.
tried. I have checked in the 15.23.1 version and
Mhm.
15.25.1 version also, but it's not reflecting there.
Okay. So are you hosted in Frappe Cloud?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Would you be kind enough to go ahead and raise a ticket over there so somebody from the team can look into it if there's something that is stopping it or if the process that was followed correct or not? So they can look into the system. Just go ahead and create a ticket.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
These tickets, can you create them on any module that you're having difficulties with?
Yes. So if there's a bug in the core module, then you can go ahead and create a ticket. Somebody from the team would reply to it. But then if you're trying to configure it and you are facing issue, then at that moment they'll just tell you to go on Frappe School and learn about it, because you can understand the product is open source and you're only paying $50 and the support team is limited. And we have more than 10,000 plus customers to serve. So it's not possible for us to provide configuration level help and assistance to our customers. So that way we have partners, because obviously they take the implementation fee. They are responsible for implementation, integration, and configuration. So either you can reach out to them, or else you can check all the videos that are there on Frappe School. And in case if there's a bug when you're doing the configuration, you can raise a ticket.
Okay. So the partners and the discussions, that's where.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's where we get ones.
In India, we have success pack that basically is sort of consulting. So when you're doing an implementation, and they'll guide you how to do the implementation, but then you will do the implementation. So that's like a middle pathway where you're not spending high, like a full-blown implementation money, but then still you're getting some consulting out of it. So
Yeah,
you can check
yeah,
out the
understood.
success packs that is there in Indian page.
And also, what would be quite interesting to know is how many like business customers does Frappe have overall?
The
Rough.
customers that are hosted in Frappe Cloud is around 10,000 plus. But since, as I said, the product is open source, so there's a version that is there in DigitalOcean. We have stopped managing there. I was told that we had more than 13,000 plus downloads. Then there are obviously people who can go on GitHub, download, and start using the product. So there's actually no way to figure out how many people are using our system. The number that we have presented, 10,000 plus customers, those are hosted with us.
I
So
understand.
it's not so the product was created for small and medium enterprises, but then lately in last 5 years, we have seen that larger enterprises have started using the product as well. Couple of examples: Vodafone UK, TUI Inc. Then IESS, we are in advanced talk with them. We are in advanced talk with Selmi as well. They are the largest distributor of Telcel. That's the largest telecom operator in Mexico. Told you
Hmm.
about Vodafone UK. In India, we have Geo Financial Services using our product. We have Blinkit. We have Zero Life, the investor as well, the user of the product. So many larger enterprises are also using the product.
I work with Vijesh, and I would like to ask a question. I set up a test environment about a week ago, but I hardly worked on it because I haven't had time, and I wanted to first Vijesh to have this training session or this presentation so that we can talk about it. Now it's come to an end. How can I extend at least for another week or 2 weeks the trial period?
So whoever your partner manager is, you can reach out to them, ask them for an extension, or else you can just shift it to a $5 per month plan. So you can keep it on that plan till the time you're satisfied and you feel comfortable to do the implementation or configuration and move to a higher plan according to your requirements. So you can ask for a week extension from your partner manager, regional manager, or else you
Uh,
can just shift it to a $5 per month plan. I think that shouldn't be in terms of it. That shouldn't.
I just went on the ERPNext website.
You're not hosted on Frappe Cloud, or
I
your
went
trial
on
is running on Frappe Cloud, right?
on Frappe, yes, Frappe Cloud, yes.
Yes. So you must have you must have been reached out by a partner manager at least, because you have registered in Frappe Cloud.
No, it's just
Not yet.
there was ERPNext website, so I clicked
Not
on
a
that
problem.
and
Just let me
I
know.
did that.
I'll ask somebody from the team to reach out to you. Which region, are you correcting from? Are you based out of Europe, US,
UK?
Yeah.
UK? Perfect. Then I'm your regional manager. I'm sending you. I'm pasting my email ID in the chat box. Just drop a text with your Frappe Cloud ID. I'll get it
Okay.
extended by a week. Not a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, great. So you have a $5 a month option to do
Yes.
testing and all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't see that in the thing. So how do I register on that one?
So you go when you log into your Frappe Cloud account in the settings section, in the billing section, there's a obviously the system will ask you to first enter your credit card details. After that, you can choose the plan you want to keep your account on. So $5, you can see the $5 plan and just select it.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Mahesh has a question. Can we have an HRMS set up ourselves without a partner by learning from Frappe School implementing ourselves? Yes, of course. But then obviously you would need a team who understands the system. So obviously it's a lengthy process, but you can do it. We have partners you in US, we have customers in US who have done it. Not that hard, but then yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Swaraj.
Can I set up multiple warehouse and manage stock level across them?
Yes. As I told you that one of the customers has more than 26,000 warehouses. So they've been managing through ERPNext. You can do it.
And can I set up alerts for new stock levels if the stock is completely into?
Last one I didn't understand. Can you set up what?
Can I set up alerts for low stock levels in inventory management?
The voice is not clear.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm not able to get the second part of it. That can you set up what?
Can I set up
News-
alert for low stocks level?
Alex, yeah. So obviously, the system lets you once it drops a particular level, the system you can set it up in a way that once a stock moves below a particular level, the system will generate a material request against it. You can do it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I'll recommend you go on document section of ERPNext and under stocks, you'll find many topics covering all the questions you have regarding stock.
Sir, what about help desks, creating a tickets for supports and closing it?
Yeah, you can use it. We internally
easy
use it.
in
Yeah.
documentation.
Yeah. We internally use help desk. We created that platform for Cred, and then it's such a wonderful platform that we internally use help desk for ticket and support.
Okay.
And the other question, what is the process? Okay, you can reach out to me in Kolkata. Is there anyone I can contact here? Kolkata, India. I think Kolkata comes under India East. I'm from Hyderabad. So for anybody who wants to try out the system, just go on Frappe Cloud site. Check. You can obviously the first thing you'll see about the general description. When you click on pricing, you'll see 4 pricing sort of like shared, dedicated, premium. The shared one is where you're sharing your resources with, you're sharing your space with other companies. Go on a shared plan. $400 below it, it will say get started, or else on the right hand side of the page you'll see get started. From there you could just sign up for Frappe Cloud. It will start a 14-day free trial of the system. There, how you can create a site, there's a video on YouTube. Ankita, can you paste the link how creating a site, how to install application? There in that video everything is covered. Once the site is created, installing of the apps will take place. ERPNext, HRMS. If you want to install other apps like Help Desk, Insights, Game Plan, you can go ahead and do it and start evaluating the system. How many partners do ERPNext have in Delhi? Uh, on frappe.io, you can go in partners channel, partner list, and under partner list, just select India. It will give you a list of partners that are there in India. You'll have to scroll and find out how many partners there are there in India, in Delhi, because I don't have exact count that I think we have many partners in India, I think 60, 70, but then how many of them
From
are
Delhi,
in
I think we have around 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Partnership. I think Ankita is being kind enough to paste link of all the questions, things that are needed. So yeah, anybody else and anybody other questions?
All right. So I think we have almost come to the end of the webinar now. Thank you everyone for joining in today. And thank you, Puneet, to show us the demo of ERPNext and giving us an overview about the product. So before we go, I'm just sharing the feedback form with you in the webinar chat. It would be really useful for us if you can share your valuable feedback with us, because it will help us to improve in our future events as well. And you can give us your recommendations or what you're looking for or anything like that, so that we can schedule it for the next month as well. So thank you, In, for joining. Hope you find this webinar useful, and thank you, everyone. Hope you have a
Thank you,
wonderful day
Ankita, for
ahead.
scheduling
Yes,
it.
yes.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Thank
Puneet
you.
sir.
Take care.
Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you.